Hey everybody, it's Teresa. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to make 2 bracelets and 2 pairs of earrings today, and I'm going to use some of the beads that came in the most recent Sam's Bead Box, the one for August 2024. It's called Citrus Celebration. I'll put a link in the corner of this video and in the description box below to the unboxing video I did for this subscription in case you want to watch it, where I go over everything that came in the box. I'll also put a link in the description box below to the page where you can go and sign up for this subscription if you're interested. I have a coupon code, it's Teresa, and that'll save you $5 off your first box if you sign up. For my first bracelet, I'm going to be using the 8mm Czech glass melon beads that came in the box, and some of the Czech glass fire polished drop beads that came in the box. They're 5.5 by 8mm. In here I've got a toggle clasp, 2 6mm jump rings, a bunch of 4mm jump rings, and 3 ball head pins. I'm going to do some wire wrapped links, and I'm going to connect them together with the 4mm jump rings. I don't know how many it's going to take yet. And the ball head pins, I'm going to put the little drop beads on there and dangle them off the clasp area. I'm using some 22 gauge German style wire. And here's what I'm using for my earrings. I already got one of them made, but it would be 2 of the melon beads, 6 of the drop beads, 6 ball head pins. Of course, you don't have to have ball head pins. You could use regular head pins. I think it's 2 6mm jump rings and 4 4mm jump rings and a couple of ear wires. I think that's all that's in there. I'll be using my chain nose pliers, my tweezer pliers, my round nose pliers, both pairs of my bent chain nose pliers, the crimping pliers that I use to tuck in burrs when I cut off wire, and my cutters. I think that's everything for my first bracelet and earrings. And I've got my little New Orleans shot glass to put my wires in when I cut them off. I think that's everything. I'll try to find links and put links to everything I'm using that didn't come in the box in the description box below. So hold on, I get some of this out of the way and I'll be back. Okay, I've got my melon beads here and my little 4mm jump rings. So I'm going to take one of my pieces of German style wire, and these are about 3 inches. These little pieces of wire, I'm going to go down about 1 inch, bend the wire over at a 90-degree angle. Take my round nose pliers and put them in the crook of the bend. Round nose pliers facing me. I'm going to bend the wire back until it hits the tool. Rotate the pliers so they're facing the table. Take this part under here until it hits the bottom of the tool. Kink the wire back until the loop is centered over the wire. Like that. Now I'm going to take my bent chain nose pliers and hold onto my loop. Bring this short piece of wire down. And the short piece of wire around wrap the short piece of wire around the longer piece of wire about 3 times. Take my cutters, cut off my extra wire. I'm going to take one of my melon beads, put it on here, take my pliers, go to the very tip of the pliers, bend the wire over to a 90-degree angle, take my round nose pliers and put them in the crook of the bend. Round nose pliers facing me, bend the wire back until it hits the bead, rotate the pliers till they're facing the table, take this part under here until it hits the bottom of the tool, kink the wire back until the loop is centered over the bead. And that stands my little wire straight up there. Take my bent chain nose pliers and hold onto my loop. Bring this part down. Take my other pair of bent chain nose pliers and start to wrap. I want to make sure to get that first wrapping under the bottom of the loop and not over the top of the bottom of the loop. And just wrap till there's no more room to wrap. I'm going to take my cutters and cut off my extra wire. And then I use these crimping pliers that have circles at each end there to tuck in the burrs when I cut off wire. And I wait till I get the whole length made before I tuck in my burrs. I find it easier to do if I have that bead to brace against when I do it. It keeps me from mangling the wire and the loops and everything. So I'm just going to do that again. Take another piece of wire, down about an inch, bend over at a 90-degree angle, around those pliers and put them in the crook of the bend. Bend the wire back until it hits the tool. Rotate the pliers so they're facing the table. Take this part under until it hits the bottom of the tool. Kink the wire back until the loop is centered over the wire. Take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. Bring this short piece of wire down. Wrap the short piece of wire around the long piece of wire about 3 times. Cut my extra wire off. Take my melon bead, put it on here. Pliers, go to the very tip of the pliers. Bend the wire over to a 90-degree angle. Around those pliers and put them in the crook of the bend. Bend the wire back until it hits the bead. Rotate the pliers till they're facing the table. Take this part under until it hits the bottom of the tool. Kink the wire back until the loop is centered over the bead. I bent chain those pliers and hold on to my loop. Bring this wire down. My other pair of bent chain nose pliers and start to wrap. Wrap till there's no more room to wrap. Take my cutters, cut off my extra wire. Take my crimping pliers and tuck in my little burrs. Now I'm going to take a 4mm jump ring and connect these 2 links that I made together. Close my jump ring back really well. Now I'm just going to keep doing that until I have the length that I want, and then when I come back I'll make the little drops that I'm going to use to hang off the clasp area and put the clasp on. So I'll be back. Okay, I've got the length that I want now, and I'm going to wrap these little drops here, and I've already wrapped one of them where I was playing around before I started the video trying to figure out what I wanted to do. So I've got a ball head pin, put my drop on there, I'm going to take my pliers, go to the very tip of the pliers, bend the wire over to a 90-degree angle, around those pliers and put them in the crook of the bend, around those pliers facing me, bend the wire back till it hits the bead, rotate the pliers till they're facing the table, take this part under until it hits the bottom of the tool, keep the wire back until the loop is centered over the bead, Take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. Bring this wire down. My other pair of bent chain nose pliers and start to wrap. Keep wrapping until there's no more room to wrap. Take my cutters, cut off my extra wire. Take my crimping pliers and tuck in a little burr. Now I'm going to do that with this other drop here, and then when I come back we'll put it all together. So I'll be back. Okay, I've got all my little drops wrapped now. And now I'm just going to take a 4mm jump ring. See if I can locate the slit in it. I think there it is, I think. And I'm going to open it up. And two of my little drops are yellow and one is pink. So on the yellow ones I'm going to put one jump ring. On the pink one, I'm going to put two jump rings, so it'll hang down a little bit lower than the yellow ones. Put a jump ring, then another jump ring, close this one back. And now I'm going to take a 6mm jump ring. Open it up, put on one side of my bracelet, and then I'm going to do the one that has the one jump ring, one of the yellow ones, and then the one that has the two jump rings, the pink one, and then the one that has the one jump, the other one that has the one jump ring, the other yellow one, and I'm going to put on my loop part of my clasp. Close it back. And see if I'm satisfied with that. I don't know. I think that'll be alright. Yeah, I think that'll be alright. Now I'm going to just take this other 6mm jump ring. Open it up. And if y'all hear that, it's raining really hard here. It's just raining though, it's not thundering and lightning. So hopefully my power won't go out. I'll put on my other side of my bracelet. Close my jump ring back. So put this together and see what it looks like. My drops to lay here the way I want them to. So there's my first little bracelet. So hold on, I'll get my stuff and make my earrings. So I'll be back. Okay, for my earring, I already went ahead and made a link, just like I made with the bracelet. And then I went ahead and put my drops on ball head pins and did wire wrap loops at the top of them, just like I did for the bracelet. And I've got a yellow drop and a green drop and a pink drop. And I don't have any jump rings on the yellow and the green drop, but I have 2 jump rings on the pink drop because I want it to hang a little bit lower on my earring. So I'm just going to take this 6mm jump ring and open it up and put my little link I made on. And then I'm going to put one of my drops that doesn't have jump rings, and then my drop that does have the jump rings, and my other drop that doesn't have a jump ring. Close my jump ring back really well. So now I'm just going to take my ear wire and open it up. And thread it onto my earring onto my ear wire. And close it back. So there's my little earring. I already had one of them made. So there's my little earrings. So hold on, I get the stuff for my second bracelet and earrings, and I'll be back. Okay, for my second bracelet, I'm using these polymer clay citrus slices that came in the box. And these are some smooth bicones, green bicones that were in the Summer Citrus Czech glass bead mix. And then I've got some of these 11 Miyuki seed beads between all the beads. So I'm going to crimp, and I've got it on my 21 strand soft flex beading wire and fine. The color satin silver. So I'm going to take my crimp bead or crimp tube and put it on here, and my wire guardian. Tuck in my little wire guardian a little bit. Okay, now I'm gonna go down the other channel of my wire guardian. I think. There we go. Back into my crimp tube. Make sure to get my wires from crossing in there. Now I'm gonna try to hold my wires apart. And I'm going to take these crimping pliers and the part there that has the tooth. I'm going to lay the tooth on top of my crimp tube. Squeeze. And that puts each wire in its own little channel. Now I like to use these crimping pliers to fold my crimp, little half circles at each end there. So I'm going to lay my crimp in there and squeeze with a good tight squeeze. I'm going to tug, so that's good. So now I'm going to take my cutters that I use for bead stringing wire. I use a different pair of cutters for bead stringing wire. Cut off my extra wire. And now I'm going to push all that down and cut this off my spool. I'm going to take my other crimp tube and my other wire guardian. I need to tuck in my little wire guardian. I'll go down the other channel of my wire guardian, back into my crimp tube. Try to keep my wires from crossing. And I like to go through a bead on this side if I can to get my hands out of the way and center my wire guardian over the last bead. So I'm going to hold on to my wire guardian and pull my wire through. Try to make sure it's not crossed. Now I want to make sure there's no slack in my piece, but I don't want it to be too tight either. So take these crimping pliers and use the part with the tooth. Lay the tooth on top of my crimp tube and squeeze. I'm going to take these crimping pliers, no, that's not good, and fold my crimp. And I don't think that worked right. Let me try that again. Try to crimp it again and then fold it again. Yeah, I think that's better. Now I'm going to tug. That's good. So now I'm going to cut off my extra wire. So that's what I've got now. So now I'm going to get a couple of crimp covers and try to do crimp covers again. Like I did the last time. I'm not very good at crimp covers, but I'm going to give it a shot again. So hold on. Okay, I got one of my crimp covers on, and I'm going to try to put the other one on now. It's not perfect, but it might be better than the last time that I did it. So I'm going to try to put this one on here. I'm going to lay my crimp cover in there over my crimp tube. And take my pliers and start closing it very gently. Get it closed enough where it will stay on there and I don't have to hold it. Now I'm going to take my crimping pliers and I'm going to go the other way, front to back, and squish it a little bit to try to get it round. And then I'm going to take my other pliers and see if I can finish closing it. I need to squish it front to back a little bit more. Now try to finish closing it. I think it's already closed though. Yeah. So, still not perfect, but I guess that'll do. So, I've got this, it's called the Czech glass carved star, 18 millimeter, that came in the box. And I just wrapped it like I did the beads in that other bracelet. I just did wire wrap loops on each side. So, I'm going to take a, I need get enough jump rings out. I need another jump ring. Got enough jump rings out to put my clasp on. I forgot about my little star here. So I'm going to take a 4mm jump ring. And open it up and attach my little star. And then I'm going to take another 4mm jump ring. And I'm putting a lobster clasp on this one. I decided to put a lobster clasp and an extender chain on this one just to be different. I usually always put a toggle clasp on bracelets, but we'll close that up really well. And now on this side, I'm going to take a 4mm jump ring. Got an 8mm jump ring that I'm going to put on here for my lobster to clasp onto. And I added that extra 4mm jump ring just so my 8mm jump ring would lay flat. And now I'm going to open up my 8mm jump ring. And put on this little piece of extender chain. It's about 1 3/4 inches, I think, something like that. So now I had one little drop bead left that I decided to use as a dangle off this extender chain, and I just put it on a ball head pin and made a wire wrap loop at the top like I did for those other, like for those earrings and things. So I'm going to take the last link of my extender chain and open it up and thread on my little dangle. Close my extender chain back. So that's my little bracelet. So hold on, I'll get my earrings that I'm going to make, so I'll be back. Okay, now I'm going to make a little earring, and I don't really know that this earring goes with the bracelet, but I just wanted to make it. So I've got this Czech glass bee coin that came in the box and one of my little drops, and I already put my little drop on the ball head pin and did a wire wrap loop at the top just like I've been doing. And now I'm going to wrap this bee coin directly to my drop. So I'm going to take, I've got a piece of silver 22 gauge German style wire, about 3 inches. I'm going to go down about 1 inch, bend the wire over at a 90-degree angle around those pliers, put them in the crook of the bend, around those pliers facing me, bend the wire back until it hits the tool, rotate the pliers so they're facing the table, take this part under here until it hits the bottom of the tool, kink the wire back until the loop is centered over the wire. Now I'm going to open my loop, thread on my little drop bead, close my loop back, and now I'm going to take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop, Bring the short piece of wire down. Wrap it around the longer piece of wire about 3 times. And I'm going to cut off my extra wire. I'm going to put my little bee on here and make sure I get it on here the right way with him facing up. Now I'm going to take my pliers, go to the very tip of the pliers, bend the wire over at a 90-degree angle, around those pliers and put them in the crook of the bend. Bend the wire back till it hits the bead. Rotate the pliers till they're facing the table. This part under until it hits the bottom of the tool. Kink the wire back until the loop is centered over the bead. I'm going to take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. Bring this wire down. My other pair of bent chain nose pliers and start to wrap. Just wrap till there's no more room to wrap. I'm going to take my cutters and cut off my extra wire. Take my crimping pliers and tuck in my little burrs. And I'm just going to take my pliers and open my ear wire. On my little earring and close my ear wire back. So there's my earring, and I had already made one of them. So I'm done. So hold on, I'll see if I can get all this laid out and I'll be back. Okay, there are my 2 bracelets and pairs of earrings, made with some of the beads from the most recent Sam's Bead Box. Like I said, I'm not sure that those earrings actually go with that bracelet all that well, but I just wanted to make them. Like I said, I'll put a link in the description box below to the page where you can sign up for Sam's Box if you decide you want to. And that coupon code will save you $5 off your first box if you sign up. If you think you might want to get the September box, you would need to sign up before September the 9th. If you sign up after that, your first box would be the October box. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate those of you who have subscribed to my channel and watched my videos and liked and commented on my videos. I have a website where I sell my jewelry. It's Teresa's Handmade Jewelry, and I'll put a link to it in the description box below in case you're interested, along with a link to my Facebook, Instagram, and my email. If you haven't, I'd really love it if you'd subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. So until next time, I hope you all have a great day. Take care.